Okay, good evening. My name's Bob Connors. It is now 6:01 p.m. I'd like to call the November 18th special meeting of the Newbury Conservation Commission to order. Mason, can you read the preamble to the remote open meeting law and take a roll call? The members present.
As a preliminary matter, this is Mason Ferret, Conservation Agent of the Newbury Conservation Commission. Please permit me to confirm that all members are present and can hear me. Members, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Mary Rimmer,
Yes.
Mick Brown,
Yes.
Harry Trout,
Yes.
Woody Knight,
Yes.
Frank Wettenkamp, Dave Clifford, and Bob Connors.
Yes.
Good evening. This open meeting of the Newbury Conservation Commission is being conducted remotely, consistent with Governor Baker's executive order of March 12th, 2020, due to the current state of emergency in the Commonwealth. In order to mitigate the transmission of the COVID-19 virus, we have been advised and directed by the Commonwealth to suspend public gatherings, and as such, the governor's order suspends the requirement of the open meeting law to have all meetings in a publicly accessible physical location. Further, all members of public bodies are allowed and encouraged to participate remotely. Ensuring public access does not ensure public participation unless such participation is required by law. This meeting will feature public comment. For this meeting, the Newbury Conservation Commission is convening by Zoom call as posted on the agenda of the Conservation Commission section of the town's website, identifying how the public may join. Please be aware that other folks may be able to see you, and take care not to screen share your computer. Anything that you broadcast may be captured by the recording. Applicants or their representatives may be called upon to speak and or share information to the screen if able on the fly. We're now turning to the first item on the agenda, but before we do so, permit me to cover some ground rules for effective and clear conduct of our business and to ensure accurate meeting minutes. The chair will introduce each speaker on the agenda. After they conclude their remarks, the chair will go down the line of members, inviting each by name to provide any comment, questions, or motions. Please hold until your name is called. Further, please remember to mute your microphone, please use earbuds, and please remember to speak clearly and in a way that helps generate accurate minutes. For any responses, please wait until the chair yields the floor to you and state your name before speaking. Board and committee members should be called upon in a first name alphabetical order to ease the process. After board and committee members have spoken, the chair will afford public comment as follows. The chair will first take questions through the chat function. When participants are using this function, please list your name, address, and then your question. The chair will then seek questions from the public who wish to speak. They'll be asked to identify their names and addresses, questions, and once the chair has a list of all public commentators, they'll call on each by name and afford 3 minutes for any comments. Finally, each vote taken in this meeting will be conducted by roll call vote.
Okay, thank you, Mason. Upcoming meeting dates, December 2nd and January 6th. All right, first order of business is a request for a certificate of compliance. DEP file number 050045971, Newburyport Turnpike. Applicant is submitting a request for a certificate of compliance for the construction of a driveway and the completion of mitigation planting area. Mason, why don't you give us an overview of what's before us, and we'll take each one of these separately. Two out of the three seem pretty simple.
Yep. So this one here, overall, this is a property that they were trying to sell, and they're looking to close out 3 of these open permits. This one in particular was, I believe, from either 1997 or 1998 for the construction of the driveway with 80 square feet of wetland replication required as well. There was no approved plan. This is one of the files that we did not have in hand at the town hall. I did have a later plan that was used for just the shape and general size of the driveway, but didn't have any square footage, and it also didn't identify where the wetland replication was. I was able to meet the homeowner's broker out on the site to do a site walk. It's a gravel driveway, and it seemed to be in compliance with the certified structure location plan that had been submitted in years prior. Not before the construction of the driveway, obviously, but prior to 2025. So I have some photos as well that I can share, and then I would just open it up to the board for any questions.
Okay, you're gonna post the pictures.
Yep, pulling them up.
Okay, thank you. Harry, you have a better backdrop than I do. I'm living on the wrong part of the island here.
This is where the driveway wraps around here. Excuse me, that's the wrong one. And right here as well. You may notice or recognize this property. This is right off of Newburyport Turnpike, so I can pull up, the entrance as well. But when I was on site, there was no disturbance. It didn't look like the driveway, was falling in any portions or eroding at all. So in my eyes, it looked like this was completed. As much as we can tell, like I said, there was no approved plan in the folder.
Hey, is the applicant or who's going to present for the,
The applicant's
applicant?
broker is here, and that's Nyana.
Okay. All right, questions from the members. Mary, questions on this?
Yeah, there wasn't anything in the file, shared file that Mason provided to us for this project that I could find. Unless I missed something there, but there is a filing that was what I was able to determine was there was a 1996 filing that was made. There's no evidence that there was an order that was issued or recorded. I don't have anything. I couldn't find anything at the registry having to do with this filing, or there was only one recorded order for this location out of the three that are here before us tonight. So I don't know. They don't have anything to act on. There's no recorded order. I don't know
Right.
exactly why we're asking for a certificate of compliance for a project we know nothing about. That was never properly.
So the closing attorney had shared that it wasn't under registered land, it was under
Land court?
recorded.
I think it was let me pull it up, excuse me.
So is registered land not your typical?
Not recorded?
Yeah, not recorded.
Correct.
Okay.
It didn't show up under either, but one of the orders came up under recorded land. The other ones don't come up at all.
So Mason, we're positive this is registered land and
Yeah, I'm just trying to pull up the email that has
1996. It was, filed. I mean, that the applicant, the DEP has the applicant as Apple Associates for this filing, who would have been the project engineer.
so it's on the DEP NOI portal.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I haven't had a chance to.
Oh, what?
look at this.
If I look under app, see if this is the right one.
Typically, if the attorney is
okay,
looking for
I found it.
Yeah, okay.
All right. Yep. 5459. Yep.
Yeah.
It's actually
04,
recorded against Apple Associates. That's why.
Okay.
And
here it is. Sorry about that, guys.
yep.
So here is all of the recording information for the 3 open files here.
Okay, great. Does it, let's see, I'm just trying to download this order because it doesn't show me whether
So
the
when I
requirement for
pulled up the
anything.
when I
Yeah,
pulled up the order, there was no approved plan with it, but I believe there was. I have the hard copy right here. I think it was 4 or 5 special conditions. Out of the 4 or 5, 4 of
great.
them were pretty much our standard conditions. And then the one that was the only reason I knew that they were required for the 80 square feet of wetland replication. I believe that was the 5th one.
Okay.
But with no plan and it being 30 years old, it's hard to tell where anything was replicated if it was.
Yep. Understood.
Okay, Mary, any other questions?
No, not right now. I'm going to keep looking this up. So
Okay, I'll circle back with you. Woody, any questions on this matter?
No, I don't have any questions. Thank you, Bob.
Okay. Mason, when you're out there, was there anything disturbed or was everything pretty much? fully
No,
vegetated
in terms
right
of the
away?
driveway, no. It
Okay.
looked like it'd been there for a while, no
So was,
expansion.
but was most of the yard fully vegetated as well? Just,
Yep, yeah, no yard disturbance or anything like that.
okay,
Yep.
okay. Thank you, Woody. Nick, any
Now I can
questions?
see.
You're on,
Not so much
you're-
question, just the confirmation, like, so it's a gravel, kind of looks like a crushed stone, gravel bit driveway.
Yep, yeah, and it's just kind of been compacted over the years. So it's
And there was-
pretty stable with the exception of some potholes and things like that on the
Right.
way up to the
And you didn't see any obvious like cuts into a wetland that were obvious or any like grown over disturbance or something like that, so.
Nope, no, and then to that point as well, they were all pretty much in upland areas. It wasn't really getting close to the river that kind of goes
Right.
through or around the property in this case.
Right, okay, no, that was it,
okay, thank you, Mick. Harry,
Yep.
any questions for Mason on this matter?
No questions at this time, Bob.
Okay, I don't have any questions. Make sure okay, I don't have any questions. Mary, I'm gonna circle back to you. Any?
I'm
follow-up
good now.
questions?
Thank you, Bob. I
Okay.
found what I needed.
Okay. Mason, are there any raised hands from the public at this time?
Seeing none.
Okay. Do any members have a request for a site visit or any additional information? Okay, hearing none, I will entertain a motion to issue a certificate of compliance for file number 0500459 71 Newburyport Turnpike.
So moved.
Second?
Okay. Okay, roll call. All in favor? Mary,
Yes.
Woody,
Yes.
Nick,
Right,
Harry,
Yes.
and Bob Connors votes yes. All right. Make sure my pages don't stick together tonight. Okay, next matter is a certificate of compliance for DEP file number 050-0893-71 Turnpike, 71 Newburyport Turnpike. Applicant is submitting a request for a certificate of compliance for the construction of a deck, attached garage, and associated infrastructure. Mason, can you give us an overview and a recommendation on this matter if you have one?
Yep. So for this one, they're requesting a partial certificate of compliance. I can walk through some of these photos. The deck was constructed, although it is kind of run down now. It wasn't safe to walk on, but the deck was constructed. They had poured the foundation for the garage, but they had not built any of the walls or anything like that. So this is the deck here. The garage was proposed to be here. So it was in the proposed location. It just seemed to be never finished.
Was there an as-built plan with this from the building department when that showed the foundation was as? from original?
I had nothing in the folder.
Okay. What was what year do you anticipate this was?
I think these
Three
last
digits.
two were 2007 and 2008. I can double
Okay.
check that right
0893, is that what the one we're doing now?
now. Yep.
0893, yes,
That
Mary.
was 2007.
Okay, 2007.
Yep. March of 2007.
But there was a plan plan section that was included with this one, wasn't there? That was done by Apple.
Yes, I can pull that up.
Approved plan.
Can you guys see this?
Mhm. Now, obviously the deck is pretty clear. Is the foundation kind of on the top of the foundation? Is that? Yeah, where you're,
So here I can mark it up a little bit. So this is where the garage was right here.
okay.
Deck is here.
So that's just the foundation and the garage floor that was shown on
Right.
previous pictures. Okay.
Yep.
Mary, what questions do you have on this one?
So they're saying that this was for just the deck? Was that,
So it's for the construction of a deck, attached garage, and associated infrastructure. So,
Okay.
And that's what the narrative had described on their notice of intent.
okay.
but they're requesting a partial? It looks like they were both constructed. Is that not right?
No, they're
Uh,
looking for a full
to-
certificate.
The garage was never built, just foundation?
Correct, full certificate, but on the COC request, it's for, these portions of the work were done because the garage was never fully constructed.
Okay, so you're just gonna add a note to that or something?
Right.
Okay, yep. Got it.
Okay. Anything else, Mary?
Nope.
Okay, Woody, questions on this matter?
Nope, I don't have any questions. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Woody. Mick, any questions on this one?
No, so just to clarify, we're issuing an order of condition, we're issuing a completion, but it's, you're gonna note that it's partial construction.
Yep, correct.
Foundation only, that.
Yeah,
constructed.
I'm just thinking that if there were any further construction here, it really wouldn't be impacting wetlands. Anything that would impact the ground or impact wetlands has already been done, correct?
Within the footprint of the garage, yes.
Yeah, so is there any need to do that note?
It may just be
Issue a full compliance.
yeah, true.
Just to,
I'm just throwing it out there for
Yeah,
discussion.
no, I think it's a good point, Mick, you bring up.
no, I think to clarify for the record, it's important to note that it wasn't completed, so.
It may not require that they revisit Concom to build that if they
Right.
don't vary from
Yeah.
the foundation, but that'll be a determination that Peter will make if someone comes in with a building permit.
Okay. Okay.
Now, that would that be accurate, Mason?
Yeah, and he would usually task it to me, and then from there,
Okay.
we can obviously look if there's going to be impacts if they propose any expansion or something like that.
Okay. Mick, anything else?
No, those are, thank you.
No, good question. Harry, any questions on this matter?
Nope, not at this time, Bob.
Okay, thank you. Woody, did I skip over you or did you?
No, I'm good. But now my wheels are turning. But if they were gonna tear out the foundation, they'd have to do something.
Right, yeah, if any disturbance,
good.
yeah, would result. Again, it would still have to go back to the building department for a demolition permit, and then that would give Mason, they'd have to get a review and a sign off from Mason, so.
No.
Yeah, and in this property, the river pretty much wraps around the entire property. So I've actually talked with the closing attorney and the new buyer. I can kind of give some perspective on
I would
how
think they're gonna-
environmentally sensitive the site is, but just letting them know that when they do come in, or excuse me, when they do finalize the purchase, they should just come in and talk with me about what they are looking to do and what's going to be needed from us.
Okay,
There's riverfront area on this site now that wasn't regulated at the time it was filed, so.
okay, any other questions from the members before I see if there's any raised hands from the public? Okay, Mason, are there any raised hands from the public at this time?
Seeing none.
Okay, do any members have a request for a site visit or additional information? Okay, hearing none, I will entertain a motion to issue a certificate of compliance for file number 050-0893, 71 Newburyport Turnpike.
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second,
Woody, thank you. Roll call, all in favor? Mary,
Yes,
Woody,
yes.
Nick,
All right.
Harry,
Yes.
and Bob Connors votes yes. All right. Approved. Okay, next matter is a certificate of compliance, DEP file number 050-0880, 71 Newburyport Turnpike. Applicant is submitting a request for a certificate of compliance for the installation of a wind turbine and associated concrete pads and anchors. Mason, can you provide an overview and a recommendation if you have one on this matter?
Yep. So this wind turbine is located. I'll bring up the same site plan. And then you can see it's over here. So this is the center support here. Each of the supports are about a 3x5 concrete pad. So the wind turbine sits on this one, and then there's, I believe, 3 or 4 different guy wire supports that are also on those roughly 3 to 5 foot concrete pads. So
Is the turbine operational or is it?
Yep. Yep.
It
So
is,
it was
okay.
up and running.
Okay.
And this was closed. They had closed out the building permit and the electrical permit for the wind turbine when they had finished, but they had never closed out their open order. This, in their order of conditions, did require an as-built plan, which they had reached out to the engineer to try and get. The engineer and them had kind of had a fall through, and he frankly was just not willing to provide that for them. So I was able to go out, confirm the location of the concrete pads, and confirm that they were in the proposed locations.
And you have pictures. Go back to the
Yep.
picture.
So just to give people an idea, this is the center one here. Excuse me, at the base. But they all sit on this, just about 3x5 concrete pad, and then the guy wires go in to stabilize everything.
Okay, questions? Anything else, Mason, before I open it up to the members?
No, besides that, there was no other disturbance in the area. This whole area was vegetated. You can see some of the trees starting to grow back in here. No additional disturbance in those areas.
Okay, questions? Mary, questions for Mason on this one?
Just a couple of quick notes that all 3 of these filings had different applicants, so the certificate of compliance. You just make sure you track the name for each of them. This was under Janet Fraser.
Mhm.
And it looks like Apple did the plans, and Apple doesn't exist anymore. And Apple Associates, the engineering firm that used to be in Byfield. And
Yeah, so Apple, yeah, like you said, they're not there anymore. So they tried to reach out to the license installer, and that's who had kind of refused to provide the as-built plan.
Well, the only concern I had is that the request for certificate of compliance checks the box that says there's a statement included by a professional engineer about compliance, but I didn't see any letter. They didn't require an as-built.
We didn't have one. I thought that I had checked that off just because it required it, not because it was provided.
I think this is the one that on the application it says it checks off the box for a statement from the engineer. If you want to pull that up. This is 0880.
Yes, 0880 is the.
Yeah, I'm looking at that now. So yeah, the wrong box was checked. I think that was interpreted as, was it required as a part of the order of conditions? But no, it was not submitted.
So it was not required, or it wasn't?
It was required in the order of conditions. It was not submitted with the certificate of compliance request.
Okay, so I guess just.
Well, we have to determine if within our discretion, Mason's.
Whether that's,
Yeah.
fatal flaw or anything like that. Yeah, okay. All right, thank you. That was all I had.
Okay, thank you, Mary. Woody, any questions for Mason on this one?
No, I don't have any questions. Thank you, Bob.
Thank you, Woody. Mick, any questions?
No, no
on
questions
this one? Okay,
from me, Bob.
Harry, any questions on this matter?
No questions, Bob.
Okay, I do not have any questions. Mary, any follow-up questions from you?
No,
Are
it
you
looks
okay?
like it's a pretty minor project.
Yeah,
I don't think we're too concerned. Yeah.
Mason and I talked about it, and it came down to that. He went out and he literally spent some time out there to verify that everything seemed to be in its approximate location, and
Mhm.
certainly there was no disturbance to any of the resource around what's been there for probably 15 or so years, 20 years. Okay, Mason, any raised hands from the public at this time?
Seeing them.
Okay. Do any members have requests for a site visit or additional information?
No.
I will entertain a motion to issue a certificate of compliance for file number 050-0880-71 Newburyport Turnpike.
So moved.
Do we have a second? Okay, Woody, that was you. Roll call.
Yes.
All in favor? Mary,
Yes.
Woody,
Yes,
Mick,
All right.
Harry,
Yes.
and Bob Connors votes yes. All right. Okay, we have a couple of project discussions. Open Space Committee response. So team, I received a communication from the assistant planner regarding the open spaces. They're doing an effort to update their open space recreation plan, and they're reaching out to all of the different committees or commissions that may have some overlapping interest or jurisdiction. And I said I would bring it up at our next meeting. I sent off a sample. I shouldn't say. I sent off a response for kind of the usual boilerplate that I would bring this up at our next meeting to discuss and provide collective comments. And in the meantime, I would offer several preliminary observations. Basically reciting what we always look at: protection of sensitive resource areas that should remain a core priority, particularly within the Plum Island Overlay District, salt marsh systems and areas vulnerable to sea level rise, improving managed public access, walking paths, trail connections, low impact recreation should be balanced with resource protection and maintenance capacity, coordination between boards, OSC, planning, conservation, agriculture, historical, is essential to avoid conflicting goals and to efficiently leverage state grants once the plan is approved. Inventory and stewardship of planning of the town-owned conservation parcels should continue to evolve, especially where signage boundaries or trail conditions need improvement. So those are kind of my boilerplate off-the-cuff responses. But again, I said I would bring it up at a meeting. So I open that up for discussion. Mary, what other thoughts would you like to add to this? Or
Were they just looking for general feedback or?
yeah, it was just, I think it was more of a courtesy.
Yeah.
So I just offered that as a starting point.
Yeah, no,
And-
I mean, I know they've been meeting forever, and so hopefully they'll get something, a draft that we can look at sooner than later. The only open space parcel that I'm aware of that the commission has management responsibilities for is the one in Byfield, the Great Meadow Farm, is that what it's called? On Middle Road.
Yep.
Mhm.
And then there's other conservation restrictions that we hold where we're not responsible. The town isn't responsible for the maintenance, but the Conservation Commission is the holder of the restriction. So 105 High Road was one of them. And I believe the Caldwell Farm Trail as well.
Okay. And those are properties that you should probably walk once a year to make sure that the terms of the restriction are being abided by.
Yep.
I think we talked previously about there being some need for some maintenance and improvement to the Great Meadow property. But that's all I had.
Yeah, no, I think one of the things actually, Woody, you could probably help out. We have a lot of property that have these abatement requests. Is it 61A for agriculture, where that when they come up for sale, the town has the first refusal, which could add to open space inventory. So I'm thinking, looking over the horizon, that's probably the only limited opportunities for additional open space that may be available in the town that doesn't get donated to, Essex Greenbelt or.
Yep.
But
and then we see it a lot as well with some of the newer subdivisions and some of the bigger developments going in. I know that I'm not involved in the project, but I believe 34 Central is proposing a portion of that to be open space as well with a trail and recreational area.
So again, that's just more of a general discussion on a communication. At this point, it doesn't require, I think, a formal response from the commission, but I certainly wanted to bring you all up to speed on what has transpired and as a starting point. And to Mary's point, as they create new documents, they'll be circulated to us for our review, and we'll have the ability for additional comment. So, okay, moving on, the next matter is Conservation Commission Annual Town Report Review. So once a year, each committee and commission or board typically submits an annual report for the town's annual report record. I had just crafted with Mason the more chronologically the number of meetings, visits that I've circulated that with all of you. Does it require a formal vote? Again, I always seek counsel from all of you, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to treat this as where we have time. It has to be submitted by, I think, November 21st is what the town administrator had asked. So any questions on the document that was drafted and circulated?
No,
I
no.
think you did a great job.
Yeah, no, I read through it, and yeah, I had no comments or questions or edits or anything about it.
Well,
Yeah.
all I can tell you guys is we spent a lot of time. I think we had 80 odd agenda items, couple
Yeah.
of dozen site visits, couple of dozen meetings. Yeah. Stipends may be in order here at some point. No, but thank you all to that. Until you quantify it in that fashion, you really lose track of the amount of time and energy that we all put in, one, reviewing every submittal that's on the agenda, approving it, and then executing the associated documents after the fact. And hats off to Mason. He's got a pretty full agenda. Plus, he's playing with a dam over there in Byfield too, so he's pretty busy. So what I'd like to do is I will entertain a motion to authorize the chair to sign and submit the annual town report as written if there's no objection.
So moved.
Okay, do I have a second? Okay, roll call, all in favor. Mary,
Yes.
Woody,
Yes.
Nick,
All right.
Harry,
Yes.
and Bob Connors vote yes. All right, any further comments, anyone? Mary, anything you'd like to add before we break?
No, thanks for
Thanksgiving?
doing those things, keeping us in the loop.
No, my pleasure. Harry, how about yourself?
No, not right now. I think Mason wanted to say something.
Yeah,
No, he goes last. I go through the members first. There's a pecking order to my madness here. Yeah, and I know most of you aren't going to say anything, so Mason will get the final word. Woody, any comments you want to offer before we move on to Mick?
Enjoy your turkey and enjoy your sweets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Woody. Mick, how about yourself? Any comment?
No, I'm good. Again, just thank you for putting all those things together. Appreciate it.
Okay, no, my pleasure. And Mason, you have the final word before I look for a motion to adjourn.
Well, yeah, I just want to say thanks first for everyone meeting on a short notice. I know it's not always easy to accommodate, but this was kind of a special situation where, the homeowner was trying to move out and it was, an elderly woman. She was in a tough situation. So like I said, I appreciate everyone being able to meet on short notice. And then I just wanted, while we have everyone here, Mike DeRosa, who's representing the applicant for 16 Low Street, said that they're going to be having everything staked out. So corners of the building and stuff should be staked. And I think he's going to refresh the flagging. That'll all be done by the end of this week. So he was looking to see if we'd be interested in doing a site walk early next week.
Sounds good.
Okay.
They were there today.
All right, well, why don't we do this then? How does Monday or Tuesday look, say, at 8 o'clock? And what was the address, 16 Low?
16 Low. Yeah, and I had floated that to Mike for either Monday or Tuesday at 8 a.m. and he was good to go for those. So whatever's good for you guys.
You know what? Let's just check the weather too. See what's,
Yeah, they were there today with their tripods and a couple guys.
all right, so Monday has a 65% chance of rain. Let's see when it is. Well, as long as if we go at 8, it's not supposed to start till about 9. If we wanted to do Monday. And, oh, I'm sorry, that was no chance of rain on Tuesday. Okay, what's our pleasure?
I'm a fan of Monday.
Okay, so Monday at 8. Mary, how does that work for you?
Yeah, that works for me.
Okay,
All right.
Harry?
That's fine, Bob.
Okay, Woody, how about yourself?
Same,
Okay.
fine.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, as long as a couple of us get eyes on it, I think that's gonna suffice. And I'll be honest, if Mason does a site walk and feels everything is in order, that's pretty much good enough for me. So, all right, well, why don't we do this? Why don't we schedule that for Monday?
I can send out an invite to everyone.
Perfect.
Okay,
What's the address on that one again, Mason?
16 Low.
Oh, 16 Low Street, okay.
what's the date on Monday? It is-
24th.
Okay. So 11/24 at 8 a.m. at 16 Low Street. Yeah, if you can send that out and let Mike DeRosa know, that'd be great.
Yep.
Okay. Mason, anything else?
That's it for me.
Okay. Mason, thank you. You've done a great job. You've cleaned up some of the gaps we've had from our previous agents, and it's a pleasure working with you. Right. I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All right, Mick, you jumped right in there ahead of Woody. Okay. Roll call.
I
All
want to
in
get out of
favor?
here.
Yeah, I know. You know what, if Mason didn't have to be
I like
along
you
with
guys,
it,
but,
I
you know.
I could have beaten Mary's record, but
Never.
all in favor?
Never,
Mary,
never.
Woody,
I think it was
Yes.
24 minutes, wasn't
Harry.
it? Jay?
You in the, on the,
Yes.
on the
Yeah, it was under
second.
30
Thank you.
minutes.
yeah.
That's
Okay.
that's a challenge, Bob. I think
No,
you could be
well, you
better.
know what it is? The only way I can do that is we don't have a quorum and I just close the meeting. It'd be the
Yeah,
only
just,
way
yeah,
to
just blow through it.
possibly do that. Thank you, everyone.
Everyone.
Yep.
Thank
Have a
you.
good night.
Happy
See ya.
Have a great
holidays.
weekend. See you Monday.
Bye-bye.
Yep.
Yep.
Happy
Yeah.
Thanksgiving.